before cutting the subsidy off. But if you wait a little bit longer, they don't know what politics is. If you wait a little bit longer to prepare for these palliatives, he won't do anything. I bet.
He might not do anything.
He might not, yes. Maybe I agree to. He might not do anything. Because you're so tough.
Okay, you said it a while ago. Your salary increment is on the way.
Yes.
Meaning that worker salary will increase. But now, in spite of this assurance, the labor movement is still insisting on going on a scheduled protest tomorrow.
Labor has to be labor. You see, if labor does not do as it is doing now, the tendency is for even some of their members to assume that the government has already bribed him. So it is just that labor, as I have said, will have to do what it is doing for now. It has already, long before the broadcast, has already told the world it's going on strike. It is up to the government to find a way of appealing to them not to go, because they have already said they are going, and they are going starting on Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. If anybody, you see, labor is always, and the average Nigerian is always, even human soul, you tend to think what you are is what your neighbor is. So they will think they have already greased their hands and palms. So what must be done now is for either to find a way of stopping it, or they go on Thursday and begin to do some kind of negotiations. So it is not, labor won't take it on paper like this, or in the broadcast that you have said. They will say, oh, it's a deja vu, we have seen it before.
And moreover, labor has tried to go on strike the first time. He couldn't. Some people have said, oh, okay, you cannot go on strike. Now, if again now, they decide to go, they have lost the power.
They are going on protest now.
Protest,
not strike. But definitely those that are on the street protesting will not be in the office.
So that's it.
Now, if I say you are welcome. Yes, you. You still met us.
Okay.
You are welcome.
Look at him, he's looking so brilliantly beautiful.
Thank you, sir. I thought he's going to be brilliantly handsome.
It's a question of interpretation.
Larry, yes, Mr. President. Before we quit this labor issue, I want us to also look at one aspect. The labor had complained that government representatives are not treating them with the courtesy that they ought to have been accorded them.
Quickly, let me say that. I mean, that's again, it is a question of labor trying to play a top dog. You see, some of these people who the government up to now has not been formed in terms of ESCO, cabinet. You can't expect any minister to come. There is no minister on board. So the lady who came is because he has been given that portfolio as the special advisor in charge of energy. So some of these things they should also look at it from an embryonic governance. The government is just coming out gradually. That's the only lady who has the power.
The chief of staff was...
Yes, the chief of staff will have to be here and there. But look, when Ijalode, no way kind of mentality is what I see in this case. There is no permanent secretary. You have been lucky. A permanent secretary would have been leading the government side.
Okay.
Not that a permanent secretary is too subordinate, no. But that's because the ESCO has not been formed. And so you don't expect that the chief of staff was even there is commendable.
Okay, Larry. Approve buses for tertiary institutions, remove restriction on students' loan, and also any arbitrary increase in school fees. You will recall that the special advisor to the governor on information and communication, Alaki, once defended the increase in this from these institutions, that of UNILAG and UG schools. But this time around, Federal is saying stop everything. So what can you deduce from that?
Well, the first deduction is that some decisions have been taken rather hastily, like people said, because those actions came out of what the body language those institutions looked at from government side prompted them to do what they did. And now that the government is weighing in, then it's saying it's not as if we are totally taking off our hands from education. That's part on the educational bit. And I think